Brooklyn, the home of the Nets, in a fine Eastern Conference affair here at Barclays Center. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. And our broadcast team tonight, Greg Anthony here to my left and Steve Smith to my right. And the Hall of Famer David Aldridge along the sideline. The Hawks will kick off their road trip right here. Still trying to find that groove they had last year. They'd like to grab hold of some new momentum and get closer to where they were a season ago.
You know, one of the best ways to garner some confidence is to start a long road trip off with a win.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Schroeder and Bazemore are in the back. Luke Babbitt is out there with Prince, and it's Dedmon in at the pivot spot manning the middle. And a lot of contact on that one. You may have the same roster, but it's always a different team. Correct in that assessment?
Yep, kind of like the first day of school.
It's Russell with the drive. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Only the first quarter. Guys are getting in a groove, but communication on the defense has to be better. Stumbling out of the gate a little bit, just 1 for 4 so far.
Back to Mozgov. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Power down with both hands.
And everybody out of the way. I mean, clear the lane. We've got some rims to rattle.
What a sensational play to get to the rack for the slam. And the dunk by Bazemore.
Man, he sure can get off the floor.
He's one of the best in the business, absolutely. It's Russell with the drive. Here's LeVert. Here's Mozgov. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Mozgov's got his first points of the night. Schroeder outside. Addition out to Dedmon. Picked off in midair. LeVert the pass to Hollis Jefferson. Out to the right wing. A nice shot by LeVert. LeVert's got his first 2 points.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wynn.
Well, this is where he shows both skill and body control along with the attack mindset.
Mozgov.
And so critical for this Nets organization. Having that minor league team in close proximity, very valuable.
And the Hawks with a completely new group on the floor.
You know what, didn't find a very good shot on that possession, but still able to get 2 points.
Offensive rebound. And Mozgov throws it down.
And doing some dirty work on the offensive glass.
And then fouls it up, Greg, with heavy-duty jam on his mind with a terrific putback. Now here's Booker. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. Goes up to the stripe, and it comes off the front of the rim. And stolen by Graham. Rebound by Muscala.
Can't finish, and defensively, nice job of altering the shot without fouling.
And stolen by Booker. To the inside. Here's Mozgov. And that one, good. Mozgov's got 8.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Here's Delaney. That shot, no good. And Brooklyn will come the other way. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets.
No other way to put it. The defense was awful, completely uninspired at that end of the floor.
They also committed a lot of mistakes while their opponent was extremely disciplined.
And they've come out with a take no prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys. I don't know if you can do it any better on both ends than they have tonight.
It's early, but they have taken full control of this game, and the fans here, they know it.
And as we... Nets leading by 11. This is how the floor looks for the Hawks starting the second quarter. They've got Collins. He's out there with Mike Muscala. And it's Bellinelli in the threesome. And the dunk by Booker.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
If you aren't going to at least step in front of him, you can't be surprised when he throws it down like that.
Here's Whitehead. Foul on the play, basket count, so it'll be a three-point play chance. Boston.
And that was a shocker. Hard to believe that they dropped the ball, so to speak, on that one, and probably a tough pill for them to swallow.
You try not to dwell on losses like that, but hey, you can't help it. Hopefully, they'll learn something from that defeat.
It's fine to extend your defense to try and create turnovers, but guys have to help each other.
That's been a problem for them all game. Teamwork is something you just can't turn on and off.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Here's Schroeder. The Hawks again can't hit.
Trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but thus far, not working.
You know what? At some point, you have to decide. Do you keep pressing the issue, or do you focus on setting up others?
Steve, you've gone the broadcasting route, but we've seen a lot of former players becoming head coaches lately. Who else do you think could become a coach someday? Current players that you're watching.
I think Chris Paul. I think Stephen Curry. A lot of guys. LeBron James for sure. Dwayne Wade. I think Draymond Green would be somewhat like a Stan Van Gundy, Tom Thibodeau, just yelling and screaming. And
I like
but
that.
Those are some of the names.
Yes. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call.
Coming on the floor for Nuggets, Joe Harris.
Brooklyn leading. Coming to you live on 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action.
Nice clean game, huh?
With David Aldridge on our sideline, and here with me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith. This is Kevin Harlan. The Detroit Pistons come into this one following a loss, guys, to the Bucks, and just couldn't finish strong. They took a 4-point loss in that one.
Yeah, not a fan of moral victories, but that game in a lot of ways was a confidence booster for them because they really didn't have it that night, and yet
all throughout the great history of this franchise, Smitty, you grew up in the area. Was there a Piston you modeled your game after growing up?
Yeah, there were. There were two guys, Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas. You could see the impact both these players had on both ends of the floor. They were interchangeable. They both can handle, can shoot. And what I love is the chemistry they had between those two, and they are good friends of mine.
There's a chance he could go for a big game if they don't D him up on the perimeter.
And it's sent back by Drummond. Kicks it out to Johnson. It's good, and he makes his first shot of the game. A little over a minute 30 into this first quarter. Rondo against Jackson. Rondo kicks to Cunningham. No good with the triple.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
And that one's good. Drummond.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
A lot of laziness going on out there. Still early in the postseason. But if you're not in the postseason, February starts to feel like a drag.
I bet. But when you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, at least now you got something to aim for, right?
Yes. Boy, he reads the defense well. Makes a nice adjustment. Very dependable.
Rondo kicks to Holiday. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. And that's now 7 points for Jrue Holiday.
And that's from beyond, guys, right back at you.
This is looking more like an all-star game right now. Everyone launching from range.
Rondo kicks to Holiday. And it's Davis at the elbow. For the three. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And it's Detroit the other way. Getting their first look of the season at this Pelicans team.
Not exactly a game that everyone will be talking about here, but both of these teams can show flashes at times.
You know what? Every win counts in this league, and both of these teams want every victory they can get.
And the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That is his first foul of the game. New Orleans making some changes here. Darius Miller, he's checked in for Cunningham. Allen comes in for Jrue Holiday. And Jameer Nelson is subbed in for Rajon Rondo. Then for the Pistons, Marjanovic checked in for Johnson. Langston Galloway comes in for Bradley. And Smith subbed in for Jackson.
Whoa, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slant.
Great sequence for them defensively and offensively.
Terrific defensive instincts to come away with that one, and he showed no hesitation in how he completed that transition opportunity.
And guys, this is what you like to see early on, gaining a little confidence from range.
Makeable shot for him. Number gets called, and he goes ahead and delivers.
Smith, no luck. Pelicans trail by 4. Here's Cousins. Davis dishes to Cousins. Davis, the pass to Cousins. Miller kicks to Nelson. That's in, coming off an assist from Miller. Nelson's got 6.
And a good judge of spacing. Sees he can get it off over the taller man.
This is how he makes his living, making those judgment calls, understanding the opportunities.
Dishes it to Cousins. He kicks to Davis. New Orleans moving it around. Miller, no luck. Pistons leading by 3. Here's Lure. And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is. And so they will award the basket there. The star big men pair of Davis and Cousins are up front. Jameer Nelson is out there with Tony Allen. And it's Miller in the small forward position. That's the Pelicans 5 as we get into the second quarter. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Galloway. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Galloway has got the lead up to 7 now for the Pistons.
Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those 2 anchors on the front line.
So for the Pelicans, Dante Cunningham's checked in for Darius Miller. Holiday comes in for Allen. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Jameer Nelson. Here's Smith. And Detroit again with the bucket. Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area, and every team needs more shooters. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
And Drummond throws it down.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Pelicans do have their challenges, but Anthony Davis remains committed to winning in New Orleans. He said, "I love it here. I don't plan on leaving. Yes, I fit into that old school category where I want to try to win where I start my career. That's always been a goal of mine. My goal is to bring a championship here." Devin?
And David, loyalty does go a long way. Davis is a perfect guy to build your team around. He wants to win.
I'll tell you, he just hasn't been able to get it done on the offensive end. It's kind of dragged down the team.
And we're seeing some great ball.
Gave up a lot of easy points.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Ian Clark comes in for Anthony Davis. And it's E'Twaun Moore checking in for Rajon Rondo.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Clark for three. And it's Lure with the rebound. No stopping him there. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. So glad you could join us on this Saturday night. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and on the sideline, David Aldridge. Well, it was the New Orleans Pelicans in their last game losing to Denver in the Rockies. And that was a real body blow for them. They got taken apart both offensively and defensively.
You know, they're the visiting team. It's a loud arena, very distracting at times, but simply no excuse for missing a ton of free throws.
You know what? The issue that night, the misses became contagious, and the guys lost more and more confidence as it went along.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. The star big men pair of Davis and Cousins are up front. Holiday out there with Rajon Rondo, and it's Cunningham in the threesome. Here's Davis, and finally they hit one. Davis has got the first points up on the board here for the Pelicans. Here's Valanciunas. DeMarcus Cousins comes up with the rebound. For New Orleans, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And the Raptors, unique in the NBA, they have a whole nation behind them.
And basketball continues to gain in popularity, especially relevance at the perfect time. And the rabid fan base energized by how competitive this group's been the last couple seasons.
And how about the reaction time on D there? Almost comes up with the pick.
You know, these are the little plays that can add up when you look over the course of a game.
He doesn't usually fire from out there.
And that's from beyond, guys, right back at you.
This is looking more like an all-star game right now. Everyone launching from range.
Now here is Holiday. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. 5 on the clock. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. To the middle. Outside Lowry. Fires the three. And again, Toronto with the triple.
How on earth did they let him get that wide open?
Rondo dishes to Davis. He feeds it to Holiday. Pass to Cunningham. He's looking for Cousins and finds him. Shot clock at 5. And the rejection by Ibaka. Here's DeRozan. 2 points. That one goes. DeRozan's got his first 2 points of the night. You know, Smitty, most players love to create with the ball in their hands, but you can create off the ball too. Who do you think's the best at moving off the ball right now?
I think the best is Klay Thompson right now. He doesn't need a lot of dribbles to get you 60, Kevin. Other guys, J.J. Redick, Kyle Korver, Dwayne Wade, even Father Time hasn't caught up with Dwayne Wade. He's done a nice job playing without the basketball.
Terrific names you rattle off right there.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Davis with a screen on Lowry. They need this. And the shot no good, a bit short.
And you see why his reputation is so strong defensively. He allows no separation.
And so many defenses are not designed to take away the mid-range jumper, but he's given nothing away.
And so here is New Orleans. The Raptors getting the bucket. Rondo drives in. Good work defensively by Lowry. Raptors leading by 7. Powell kicks to Valanciunas. Ibaka drawing the double team. The pass to Lowry. The dish to Valanciunas. Count it.
And what it looks like now, guys, their confidence is growing, and so is this lead.
But they can't just sit.
Pass to Anunoby. DeRozan again. The Raptors need to get a shot up. That pushes it to double digits. Anunoby's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Now, here is Nelson. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Over right. Nelson, no luck.
Not sure of the thought process on that one.
By 12. So for New Orleans right now, Miller is up there with Tony Allen. Then it's Nelson. And there's E'Twaun Moore. And it's Cousins in the center position.
And it was the screen there, guys, that freed him up as he ran his man into it.
And then it was all acceleration, GA, to the bucket right after that.
That was just a textbook pick that allowed him room, and he took advantage of it.
Screen by Cousins. Moore passes to Cousins. Back to Moore. So he gets the whistle. Contact.
And certainly on paper, you could make the argument that they've got the best 1-2 punch on the front line in the league. 2 Kentucky guys, great size and offensive skill in terms of their versatility. If they can surround them with shooters and some perimeter defense, I think this group could be scary.
Nelson dishes to Cousins. Out of bounds, Pelicans ball as New Orleans keeps possession. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Raptors coach Dwayne Casey talked about the chemistry on his team. He said, "We couldn't be better. There's no ego, no hidden agendas. Guys understand their roles." Kyle Lowry told me, "We're a complete team, 15 deep, and we really mean that. You never know whose time it's going to be."
Ritual that you ever saw?
I think Harold Miner. He touched everything with his nose, his gym shoes, his wristbands, the basketballs at the free throw line, and everybody did. And I think for me, as I got older, it wasn't strange. It was out of necessity. I had to get in some kind of steam room and have all those hot pads wrapped around me just to get loose to play.
I like that story. I don't like Baby Jordan's story, though. Harold Miner, that doesn't work for me. I don't understand that. Some changes for Toronto. Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Anunoby. Norman Powell comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Kyle Lowry in for DeLon Wright. Outside for Miles. Looking for Ibaka. He gets it there. Lock at 6. Moore with the steal. New Orleans moving the ball around. And the rejection by Ibaka.
And still, he's scoreless. Boy, they could use just a little bit of help from him.
Powell kicks to Nogueira. Hit his foot. And they're saying he kicked the ball. Valanciunas, he's checked in for Toronto.
Jonas Valanciunas.
We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Valanciunas with a screen on Nelson. Three-pointer, Lowry. Here's Valanciunas. And the dunk by Valanciunas.
And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Holiday brings the double team. Wide open. Lowry, good. Lowry's got 5.
And you see the coach saying, no, no, no. Then yes, yes, yes.
For some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment. And it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now are area, and every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular,
this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
Lowry drawing the double team. Rondo with the steal. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And the rejection by Valanciunas. It's stolen by Valanciunas. And now it's Lowry running. Here we go. All the way if he can.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.